Hello everyone, my name is Mr. O, and today I will be talking to you about a long discussed topic amongst high school students, SAT or ACT. Before I continue on, I do want to state that I will be making more videos like this, so feel free to leave a comment below if there is anything you want me to talk about, and hit the like button, subscribe, push the bell notification button, since there will be many more videos coming soon. Also, if you are a person who prefers to read rather than watch videos, click the link below since I wrote an article based on this topic. I do want to preface that SAT and ACT are equally weighted in the process. While there are more students in the past few years taking ACT compared to the SAT, it is noted that both hold equal weight in the admissions process, and that only one is required in order to be considered for admissions to a United States university. Here are the key differences that may help you decide the SAT or ACT, depending on these key points, which I will be talking about in more depth. 1. Time management. 2. Science section. 3. English skills. And 4. Scoring. So, about time management. When we talk about time management, we are mainly talking about how fast you can finish the exam properly. Much of the issue that students face is that sometimes there just isn't enough time for the student. They are working thoroughly through problems, then realize that there is only 5 minutes left and they have 10 questions left to do. Soon enough, students are choosing answers based on factors such as which letter option did I not choose enough of? A strategy that technically is not statistically sound or effective for most of the times. Thus, it becomes an important factor towards scoring higher. At Royal Education, we have noticed that it is evident that most students find SAT less time pressuring compared to the ACT. While the ACT exam takes 3 hours and 35 minutes to complete, and the SAT exam is 3 hours and 50 minutes to complete, we feel that it is better to see a chart that will break down how long it takes for each section and for each problem. It seems to be the case that for sections such as mathematics, students have 23 more seconds for each question to complete the math portion in the SAT in comparison to the ACT, while in reading, students have over 20 seconds to answer a reading question in SAT versus ACT. Thus, if you are a slower test taker or tend to be consumed in anxiety due to time reasons, SAT might be the better option. Now to the science section. Another distinct difference is that there is a science section in the ACT, while the SAT does not have a section like this at all. In the science section for ACT, the general breakdown is the main two concepts that the students must understand. 1. Data analysis, and 2. Research summaries. There are also questions covered on understanding two differing scientific positions and how they are similar and different. So, which is going to be the third point. That being stated, most of the skills needed to complete the science section is around knowing how to analyze and comprehend the scientific scenario fast, a skill that I have noticed differ greatly based on student. This is a portion that I personally believe that students should try out a bit. Since Royal Education has seen that some students improve or get the concept fast, while others struggle to improve on this portion. It is dependent individual by individual and is sometimes the deciding factor for students to choose SAT over ACT or vice versa. Now to the English section. Ever since the shift from the old 2400 SAT to the new 1600 SAT, it is evident that SAT has shifted towards building their curriculum around the Common Core. What this means is that there is more emphasis on applying concepts to real-life situations, which has the largest impact on the mathematics section for the SAT. In the old 2400 SAT, it used to be the case that problems were purely geared towards solving problems that are, at times, tricky or require more than one mathematics concept to solve the problem. This type of math solving process is very similar in the ACT. But in the new 1600 SAT, it has shifted where the problems emphasize more around real-life scenarios, requiring more words in order to build out the concept. Many times, this leads to either a lot of words that can be used to understand the math scenario, like a word problem, or at times, there's a lot of unnecessary descriptors and words before you could actually solve the problem. Due to this reason, this can make it harder for students who are not first language English speakers. or people who are fluent or comfortable with English. This is where it may be favorable to students to take the ACT if this is the situation. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is scoring. When it comes to scoring, scoring is a really distinct thing that exists between the ACT versus the SAT. The only similarity between the two exams is that the general score for specifically the essay section is not counted in the total score of the exam. That is basically just a separate entity and is optional, and I have noticed that there are a number of universities that are starting to take away the essay as a requirement for admissions. When it comes to the ACT, it is out of 36, but each section is based on averaging. Since there are 4 sections that exist, English, Mathematics, Reading, and Science, each section is out of 36 and then is averaged. So what I mean by this is that if I get a 32 in English, 34 in Mathematics, 35 in Reading, and a 33 in Science, it is basically adding these 4 scores together, dividing it by 4 since that's the number of sections, and thus I end up with the score of 33.5. ACT at this point, if you get a score like this, will round up the number to 34. Thus, the benefit of the ACT is that if you are really weak in one specific section or even certain sections, averaging format might raise your score considerably. When it comes to the SAT, it is out of the 3 sections, Reading, Writing and Language, and Mathematics, and has a total score of 1600. Reading and the Writing and Language sections are each 400 points, adding up to a total of 800 points, while the Mathematics section by itself is 800 points, and thus these scores are added up, unlike the ACT where there is averaging. This format can be more punitive at times compared to the ACT, especially if the student is weak in one section. Thus, when it comes to scoring, in my opinion, there is not really a distinct or easy choice whether to choose the SAT or ACT. It's really dependent on the individual and seeing what happens to your score. At times, students score better on the SAT, but sometimes students score better on the ACT. This is my general overview when it comes to deciding whether to take the SAT or ACT. Royal Education hopes that this was very helpful towards deciding which exam to take. If you have any questions or want to leave a positive comment, definitely leave one below. Feel free to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as we will be posting more videos to help you out. Hope to see you again.